All right. Hey, everybody. I'm Glenn
Hi.
from Browse Microblading Academy, USA. In the other screen, we've got Tessie Reynolds. Say hi,
Hey.
Tessie.
Hi.
And so we got a great webinar scheduled for you today. We're going to learn all about how Tessie literally doubled her income doing microblading 2 days per week. If you think you can't do this, you can. And we're going to talk to Tessie because I want to show you all that anybody could do this. And we're going to continue coming to you with webinars just like this one, hopefully to inspire you and to give you some tips and ideas and things that you can take away from this webinar that you can actually implement in your own pursuit of building a successful microblading business. Does that sound good, Tessie?
That sounds great.
All right. If we can help a couple people along the way, why not? Why not?
Absolutely.
So we're going to give everybody just a couple seconds here to get on. We got a bunch of people that are joining. If you have questions during the webinar, go ahead and type the number 1. Excuse me. If you have questions, you're going to put them in the chat. If you have questions, you're going to put them in the chat. You'll find the chat somewhere around this video. If you're watching on your phone, you'll probably see on the top a video, and toward the bottom, there's going to be an area where you'll see a chat. And if you can hear us, please type the number 1 into your chat so that we know that the sound is working before we get started. I'm going to turn on the chat over here real quick. Hang on just a moment. All right. All right. So if you can hear us, type the number 1. There you go. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you, everybody. And all right. So Tessie, I think we're ready to get started. What do you think?
Great. Let's do it.
Perfect. So tonight's webinar is we're going to keep this one kind of brief because Tessie's got somewhere to go. So we're going to go about half an hour, and we're going to try to squeeze as many questions as we can into tonight's webinar. If you have any questions, please put them in the chat box, and we're going to try to get to them. So let's get right to it. So Tessie, you're located where exactly?
Crockett, Texas. It's Eastern Texas. It's a very small town out here. Pretty quiet, older town. Very, very, very low income, but it's definitely smiling faces out here. So it's nice to be around friendly folks.
Yeah, and things are spread out pretty much between where you are, and it's not a very densely populated area, right?
Right. If you're headed towards Houston, it's going to be about 2 to 3 hours. Dallas is about 3 to 4 hours away. So it's pretty good drive to get anywhere.
And how long have you been practicing microblading?
I actually started with the Febrouse course, and that was about late August. And I finished mid-November. It took me about three months or so to finish the course. And so since then, I've officially been a febrile artist for about 2.5 months.
Wow. It's not that long, all things considered.
No.
And in a relatively short amount of time, you actually doubled your income as a dental hygienist. Is that right?
That's right. It's been quite a blessing. It's nothing like I expected. Originally, I just wanted to do maybe 1 or 2 clients a week and just keep it kind of low key, but it just blossomed so quickly and became something much bigger than I expected. And before I knew it, in the 4 days that I was working per week as a hygienist, I was making that income doing microblading in 2 days. So it's just been amazing.
That's remarkable. Let's very quickly just jump over to your Instagram so we can share a little bit of your work.
Sure.
Is that okay?
Yeah.
Now, on your Instagram, by the way, if any of you would like to follow Tessie, you can find her at Elegant Arches on Instagram. I typed the URL, the link into the chat, and I'll do it again. Actually, let me just do that again real quick. So everybody's got that. Here you go. So you can follow Tessie there. She's got lots of pictures of her work and stuff. So I want to go all the way back to prior to Febrouse, right? So this first picture that you posted way back when, this is your pre-Febrouse work, correct?
That's correct.
Okay.
Yes, she was my very first one. I did take a microblading course prior to Febrouse. And it was a good get your feet kind of wet course, but didn't really have the nuts and bolts that I needed. So this was my very first microblading experience, and she was just a sweet model, and that picture shows what it's like to be a brand new artist. So
Yes, let's see if we can see a little bit more of this. Is this the same person?
yes.
Okay. Let's go through a couple of these so we can see some perspective here. All right. And why did you decide to, so again, this is pre-febrows, correct?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So would you share with everyone, why did you decide to take the febrows class? Why did you continue to look for more training after you had taken this original course?
Well, like many people who are interested in microblading, you start surfing the web and seeing what's out there. And I had gotten onto the forums and immediately was drawn to the classy eyebrow, the beautiful sculpted eyebrow with the clear strokes, and just every one of them had a logo on there. And I wondered what this logo was and how I could get it so I could have that kind of quality. And soon thereafter, I started emailing and talking to other artists who had gone through the program or had gone to a live training, and found out, what steps I needed to take. And I got signed up and started the program.
Mm-hmm. And so you were convinced that the quality of your work would improve.
Absolutely.
That's why you
Absolutely.
took the course. Okay. So here's actually a very good one that we can see. This is what this was your, at what point did you, at what point did you take the course with regard to these pictures that we're looking at?
Those were, my first microblading course was towards the end of July. So maybe there was, let's see, if I started, there was probably about a month and a half period where I was microblading with just my original certification. And so during the time of my febrows training, I was still seeing clients while I was learning.
Gotcha. So, wow, we can already start to see a substantial improvement in your work as we're looking at the photos of your work that are now in November, several months later. And as I see here, your febrows artist certification came about right around this time, around November 21st. So you were starting to get there, And so let's fast forward a little bit in time so everybody can see what your work looks like now. And here's your actual certificate. All right, so let's fast forward. And let's see if we can find a good picture that shows clearly your work. Here we could already see that your work is getting much cleaner, much cleaner. And this is someone that you worked on who barely had any eyebrows to begin with. And anyone who does microblading knows that that's the very challenging to work with.
It's definitely life-changing for a lot of these clients. You meet them, and microblading provides such an opportunity to change somebody, change the way that they feel about themselves, and to be a part of that and to see their smile is just so rewarding. And especially when they are looking in the mirror when you're finished and all they can do is just hug you. It just makes it all worth it.
Yeah. So now you are a dental hygienist, right?
Uh-huh.
And so you didn't come from the beauty industry.
No, not at all. I've been in dentistry for almost 18 years now. My first job out of high school is in the dental office, and so I'm very familiar with working with instruments and sharp things in small places. And it just seemed to just be the perfect avenue for microblading. It's just I was able to just get right into it and have that comfort and that ease of maybe somebody who hasn't had that background, but still. I still love dentistry, and it's something I enjoy doing as well.
And so now you're doing microblading 2 days per week, and you're a dental hygienist. I think you said 4 days per week.
That's right.
Okay. And your work is continuing to improve, obviously. And so this grew into something more substantial than you even had originally anticipated that it would. But one of the things that I want to emphasize to everybody who's watching is that you're in more of a rural area, would you
I
say?
am. Mm-hmm.
Okay. So incomes are substantially lower in the general area where you live compared to a lot of the areas where some of the people who might be watching live, like in some of the bigger cities where incomes are
Exactly.
substantially higher. And so how much do you charge for microblading?
So I charge $250, and that right now is including the touch-up. I offer the ability for them to pay $175 at their initial appointment and split it up and do $75 at the touch-up if they'd like. Being that I am not as expensive as some of the other artists, I think that's kind of bringing people to me. They're traveling far to get there, but I'm still able to see a lot of the people locally who maybe wouldn't have the ability to get microblading done elsewhere. So I like being able to offer that.
And how far out are you booked?
Almost to the end of March now.
Wow, that's remarkable. It sounds like you might need to start raising your prices soon.
I know. Yeah.
By the way, I just want to show for any of you who are watching, if you're listening to this story and you're thinking about this and you're thinking that maybe this is something that you'd like to do for yourself, here's what you can do. You can, first of all, find us, our academy, right here at microbladingacademyusa.com. I'm going to put it into the chat real quick so you can check us out. And you can see all of our live courses over here under live training courses. And we don't only teach the microblading course. There's lots of other courses that you can take beyond microblading to increase the services that you offer your clients, which, that's something that you probably would want to, or you're probably already thinking about, Tessie, at this point. But I want to also suggest to some of you who are watching, you might not want to take a live course. And like Tessie did, you might want to take the online course. And so here, for example, is the online course. This is the exact same course that Tessie took. In Tessie's case, you actually took the course with Master Cynthia. Is that right?
That's correct.
Okay. And how was your experience with Master Cynthia?
She is very tough. But she's a very kind-hearted instructor, and she really pushes you to bring the best that you can. I feel like I got exceptional training from her, and I recommend anybody I can to her as well.
Mm-hmm. And what was the experience like training with her? Like, when you say tough, describe what did you go through? What were you experiencing?
Well, when anybody starts something new or something challenging, you really have to apply yourself. My family will tell you this too. I spend a lot of time practicing. Every day I'm on latex for at least an hour. I track my work on latex. I like to see those improvements.
Yeah.
And you really do have to put in the work. You've got to spend the time. It's not easy, but it's definitely rewarding and it's definitely doable. And when your master turns around and says, "Good job," you really feel like, yes, I finally got it.
Right.
But yeah, she's wonderful, and I recommend anybody to her.
So just for anyone who's watching and you don't know what the online course experience is, it's almost like a home study program. Would you describe it that way? Yeah.
Yeah. You're given different lessons. There's 11 lessons that you have to master before you can pass on to the next lesson. And even if you get to the next lesson and make an error on the lesson previous to it, you're stuck there until you can master it. So she's going to guide you and correct you and help you every step of the way, but it's definitely a learning process and you have to prove yourself.
Mm-hmm. And so you get a beautiful professional kit shipped to you. You get access to the Craftmaster ongoing support module. So for 6 months, you get to work on these 11 levels, and it occurs through your phone, or do you do it on your phone or your tablet, or what do you?
Mm-hmm.
How did you do it?
Yeah, I did it mainly on my phone. It's just convenient just to have it there with me, and so I would always have my phone with me working on latex.
Yeah, so you're doing most of the lesson. You're watching the lessons on your phone, and then you're working on them, and it's fairly convenient to do it. When you have a little bit of time during your lunch hour, or right when you at the end of the day, or right when you wake up in the morning. Whenever you want to do it, you can do it. And then you work on these lessons, you submit your work, you take a photo of your work, submit it to your master. They provide you guidance and send it back to you and let you know either what you need to work on to fix it, or that you passed and you can move on to the next level. And eventually you complete the course and you've graduated, and now you're a certified FeeBrowse artist. And it really means something in this market because, Tessie, how many other FeeBrowse artists are there in your area?
Not many. There are definitely some in Houston and Austin. There's one in Tyler. She's about an hour and a half from here. It's an honor to be a FeeBrowse artist, and I'm glad to have that because it makes me special out here.
Yes, it definitely makes you special, and it's your credibility, especially for those of you who are just starting out. If you don't have a lot of work to display and to present yourself to prospective clients, just the fact that you're a certified FeeBrowse artist alone says a lot, and it gives you a lot of credibility as you're developing your own credibility, which is, a portfolio of work that speaks for itself. But let's talk a little bit about how you went from 0 to your first 15 clients. How did that happen?
I did a lot of them for free, and I started charging very minimally for supplies, just because you got to kind of cover your bases. But I would say I did at least 10 to 12 clients for free before I ever started charging. Were
they people that you knew? Were they friends? Were they family? Who were they?
Most of these were just friends, and people who just were interested in having microblading done. Just people that I knew.
And where did you do it?
I have a area that I rent out here at a little salon called Southern Bells Boutique here in Crockett, and I've got a little studio there that I work out of.
And so you're able to rent by the day or a couple days a week, or how does it work?
No, I've really got a nice situation there with the ladies. I pay a percentage to them per client that I see. So when I do well, they do well, and it keeps everybody happy.
Okay. Because I think a question that a lot of people have that watch this and hear about some of these success stories like your own, they'd love to make that leap from whatever it is that they're doing. And they might be in a completely different industry like you were, but they don't know how, where the rubber meets the road, so to speak. How did they actually make that jump from practicing on skin to working on people, and where does it happen, and how do you get your first couple of clients? Because once you get those clients and you're situated, then expansion is actually, in my opinion, the easier part. It's the part where you have to get up off, sort of off the ground, off the runway and into the air, so to speak. So can you talk about that a little bit? What was your experience like? Was it hard? Was it scary? Was it easy? What was it like?
It was scary. It was scary, but it's kind of one of those things, like you're saying, you just have to trust in yourself and just jump in and do it. When you see and you feel the confidence that you're able to produce a quality work, then you know that it's there. I started advertising, looking for models, and soon before I knew it, my schedule was getting packed. And this was even while I was...
I'm sorry to interrupt you, but you're referring to the models that you originally did for free in the beginning, or?
No, this is even during the course. During the last few levels of the FeeBrowse training, you're looking for models to pass your coursework. And so I would charge a minimal fee for those. I think I started running Facebook ads, and I at one point had got 15 models within a week signed up. So I just kind of felt like, hey.
Because everybody wants microblading. Once they learn what it is, everybody wants it, right? Especially if you can get it either for free or at a discounted price. And if anyone's watching and you kind of feel, some discomfort with making that kind of an offer, just remember you're in the FeeBrowse course program. It's the most prestigious microblading program that exists in the world. So just understand that you're in that program, and that in and of itself, even though you may not have done a substantial amount of work, or you haven't even worked on an actual live person, a live model, because you haven't even been to the live course and you're just doing the online course, just know that the fact that you're in this very prestigious course gives you probably even some more qualification than many other people who are even out there doing the work now. You know what I'm saying, Tessie? So you got to lean on that and put some faith in that and confidence in that, so you can make that initial jump to get to make that transition from working on latex to working on real people. But let's just quickly answer a couple quick questions here that people have. So do you still get online support after 6 months?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. First of all, you want to talk about that a little bit, Tessie?
I think I get Cynthia a little frustrated with how much I talk to her. But yeah, the masters are great. Even I'm sure after your 6 months, they're still going to expect you to send pictures and get their critiques every now and then. But they're so helpful, and that's probably one of the best part about the FeBrowse program is the support system that doesn't leave. So
yes. And we offer a lot of support to our students in multiple forms. Even this webinar itself, part of the purpose of this webinar is to help our students who are either in the course right now or recently graduated, to give them inspiration, ideas, to help them get to the next level. Because it's not just learning the art form, it's also learning how to market yourself effectively to build a successful microblading business. We're actually working on right now some courses that are going to help you establish your business and market yourself. And so, for example, we build websites for our students, because one of the ways to present yourself very professionally, which makes you stand out, is to have a professional website. And if you take a look here, in Tessie's case, we actually didn't build her website. Tessie was very motivated and went and built her own website before
yeah,
we were offering this service. Go ahead, Tessie.
Sorry, I had a business solutions consultant help me with that named Chris Cascanet. And he's just been so helpful, because I am not a computer person, but it's really critical to have that online presence.
Yes, and wouldn't you agree, Tessie, that it's so important to present yourself professionally? You got to come off as a professional, and if you really do present yourself with consistent marketing across social media, with a professional website, if you have nice, good-looking pictures, even if you don't have that much content, but you have you start developing it and doing the service at a very discounted price, just to give away the service at whatever rate you can give it away, just to build that portfolio. Presenting yourself very professionally will help you get to the next level. Would you agree on that, Tessie?
Absolutely.
Yeah. I often tell a lot of our students, in the first 6 months that you're doing this, don't even concern yourself so much about how much profit you make. Not at all. Think in terms of growing your portfolio, building your presence, building whatever, marketing avenue you're going to build for yourself, and whether that's offline marketing with flyers or some things that you might use to connect with local business owners that are in your area, and you'll do some sort of a trade with them to expand your presence. I don't know, Tessie, you could tell us if you've done some of that, or if it's online, work on social media, like Tessie mentioned, Facebook advertising, which is a very effective way to do it, or Google advertising, which we're actually about to offer Google advertising for our students. We have one student, we're going to be doing a webinar with her very soon. Her name is Amanda, and we did a little beta test with her. Tessie, you might like to know about this.
Yeah.
We did some Google advertising for her, and I have some staff that do different things for our marketing, and one of them manages our Google presence. And so we managed ads on Google for her to drive traffic to her website for this past month. And she spent about $800, and she generated over $4,000 in revenue,
Nice.
from new customers. So there's lots of different ways that you can drive traffic and get people to see what it is that you're offering. Tessie, can you tell us a little bit about some of the techniques that you use, some of the marketing strategies you used to grow your business?
Sure. I left business cards at different locations, but I'd say the biggest producer of clients walking in my door came from posting pictures on Facebook and asking friends to share and creating, Facebook ads that just promote to local sales groups and things. And that's probably the biggest form of clientele that I've gotten has come from them.
So you did Facebook ads or you did boosted posts on Facebook?
I've done both.
Okay, so for someone who's not super sophisticated with Facebook, but they do know how to put up a post, would you tell them that doing a boosted post is relatively easy and would be a highly effective way for them to get in front of prospects?
Oh yeah, and it's so cheap too. You can just spend a couple dollars a day or a week, and I mean, it shoots your picture, whatever that you're wanting to post, to thousands of people. And then they message you, or you can just chat with them through the comment section too. But that's how you get people in the door. Since I graduated FeeBrowse in mid-November, I've produced almost $7,000 now, and that's just 2.5 months. And so, any advertisement you can get, take it, do it, and it just helps you. It's so simple too.
Yeah, it's not that complicated actually to do boosted posts on Facebook. I would say for someone who wants to get involved with online marketing with an actual budget where you're gonna finance advertising, that's probably the easiest way to go, because pretty much any post that you put up, you can actually boost it. But you need to have a business page. Mm-hmm. So you'll see here. Let me just take you over here real quick. Here. Look at this lady, what she's doing. This is one of Tessie's customers. She loves her eyebrows, as you can see. She's so excited. But, I'll tell you what, this would be a phenomenal post for you to boost.
I'm sure she'd love that.
Yeah, obviously you have to get her authorization, to do that. But this right here, as simple as it sounds, this would be a funny post, but you got to put a caption in here with something to the effect of, hey, have you ever considered microblading? It's the cutting edge of beauty that's exploding all over the world. You got to check this out. You might love this. Click this link to find out more. You have to have a call to action, and the call to action would take them to your website. And so if you don't already have a website, you're not a website person, you could go to our website, which is microbladingacademyusa.com, and you could click on purchase a website right here. And you can actually buy a website. It's actually a microblading website. It's designed specifically for a microblading artist to grow your business. And like I said, very soon we'll have some additional services to help you promote your website with Google advertising and Facebook advertising. But Tessie, let's see if we can very quickly, because it's almost time to finish up here. Let's answer some of these questions, like quick rapid fire answers. Okay. How many faces did it take for you to feel comfortable and confident?
I'm going to say probably 10.
You said you charge minimally for supplies at first. How much was that, and how much do you intend on charging for your services ultimately?
When I first was charging models, I was charging between $50 and $75. You just got to look at your cost of supplies, your time, things that are just disposable that you need. So not very much, but just enough to keep you covered.
Mm-hmm. How would you ask for a model? Do you say you are new and looking for a model? What do you say?
I'm building my portfolio. I'm looking for models. Come on in and get the eyebrows that you've always wanted, and show a picture of your work.
Wow.
That's how I advertise for it.
That is a golden nugget for all of you watching. You had to wait 29 minutes for that golden nugget. There it is. Okay. For those of you who are new, I hope you listened to what you said and recorded it and write it down and practice that. That's fantastic. Once you get certified okay, hold on. Yeah, we answered that. Glenn, will you have the glasses available? Okay, so Tao is asking about the magnifiers. So we're going to have these magnifiers. I don't know if you use magnifiers when you're actually doing microblading, but we're going to have magnifiers that my partner Claire actually designed after looking at like 12 different magnifiers, and we're going to have them in I think it's going to be around the middle of February. It was delayed a little bit, but we're going to have them in our store. And our store, for those of you who don't know, just real quick, I'll show you where our store is. It is microbladingstore.usa.com. I'll just copy this and drop it in the chat. For those of you who might be interested, you can purchase all of your Febrows products there, anesthetic gel, all the stuff that we offer. So let's see if we can answer any more questions. Has it started yet? Yes, Margaret, it has started. The webinar has started. And do you use dental loops for microblading? Do you have any tips? I can't get used to mine. What's that?
You know, I tried the dental loops. What they are, they're like a jeweler's magnifying glass. They've got two tiny little circles that you look through. The problem with that is when you're comparing one brow on one side of the face to the other brow on the other side of the face, you're only seeing through one small circle, and you tend to kind of have to look in and out of the loops. What Glenn's talking about is really the way to go. You really need that wider area of vision.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, keep checking microbladingstore.usa.com, like around February 15th, I'll say, just to be safe. But I would also suggest that you make sure that you're on our email list. Just go to microbladingacademyusa.com. You can join our list right on that page. As soon as we have them, we're going to email it out to our list before we even promote it publicly, so that all of our followers who are on our list get an opportunity to buy them first. We're only going to have 300 with our first batch. We're ordering, I think, like 1,000 of them. But the first batch will only be 300, so they'll probably sell pretty quick. But anyway, I want to keep you on schedule. So thank you so much, Tessie, for sharing with everybody. Congratulations on all of your success. That is incredible. In just a few months, you have doubled your income. I'm really proud of you. You're doing great. You keep on doing what you're doing. And we will check in with you soon and see how it continues to go for you. And I hope that for those of you watching, that everything that Tessie shared with us tonight, that you got something out of it that can help you grow your microblading business. Again, if you'd like to take action on anything that you've heard tonight, if you'd like to get involved with us, you can go to microbladingacademyusa.com. Just scroll through the comments here. You'll find the link to our page. Definitely follow us. You can check us out on YouTube. You can check us out on Facebook. You can find us on Instagram. Certainly, I encourage you to follow Tessie. Give her a like and a follow. Show her some appreciation. I'm going to drop her. Instagram here real quick in the chat. Please give her a like and a follow here. And thanks so much for joining us. We'll catch you guys soon. All right. See you, Tessie.
Bye. Thank you.
Bye-bye. Adios, everybody. See ya.